Chapter 2, Lesson 7, Equivalent Expressions. Our content target today is students will understand that equivalent expressions can be written by simplifying expressions. Our language target students will demonstrate this understanding by simplifying expressions with one or two variables. So to simplify an algebraic expression, use properties to write an equivalent expression that has no like terms and no parentheses. No like terms, no parentheses. Such as 3 plus 3, that would be the same as 2 times 3 or 6. We want to make sure we get rid of those. Numbers stay with numbers, variables stay with variables. X plus x, there's 2 of those, so you write it as 2x or 2 times x. To simplify the expression 4 times 6x, we know that anytime we have a number and a parentheses, that means to multiply. So 4 times 6x, since that's one variable, 4 times 6 is 24, and the x comes down with it. It's 6x. It's just not 6, it's just not x. You have to multiply them both. When we look at the got it problems, again, we're going to simplify. So I have 3 times x, the quantity of 3 times x times 11. So I can do 3 times x, which is 3x, times 11, and 11 times 3 is 33, and the x value comes with it. So whatever x is, I have to multiply it by 33. Letter B, I have x plus x plus x. So x is my variable. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3. So 3 is my whole number. Because remember, multiplication is the same as repeated addition. 3 friends will pay X dollars each for admission to the museum, plus $1 each to view the mummy exhibit. A 4th friend will pay admission, but not view the mummy exhibit. Write and simplify an expression that represents the total cost. So when I look here, I have 3 people that are going into the museum, and they're going to watch the mummy exhibit. So I have 3 times the number of dollars it costs to get into the museum plus $1. And then I have to add one more person that's coming in, because that's the 4th person. And they're only going to get into the museum and not do the mummy exhibit. So I do not have to pay an extra $1 for this person. So if we want to simplify this expression, we're going to use our distributive property first, or we're going to remove our parentheses. So we're going to multiply 3 times x, which is 3x. We're going to multiply 3 times 1, which is 3. Addition sign in between. Addition sign in between here. And then we're also going to add one more admission to the museum. So when I simplify my expression, I'm going to go and I'm going to put a box around all of the variables. And I'm going to underline only the numbers. I can compare boxes and boxes and underlines and underlines. So in this case, I have plus 3 as my underline, and in my box, I have 3 x's plus 1 more x is 4x. So to find out how much it would cost at the museum, I'd have 4 people going into the museum plus that extra $1 for the mummy exhibit. Properties can be used to simplify or to factor expressions with two variables. Compare the effects of operations on numbers to the effects of operations on variables. So again, we combine the numbers together. 2 3s is 2 times 3. We add the 4 at the end. Same thing with variables. We can combine two of the same variable and then add the other one that's not the same. So when you talk about variables, all the x's can be together, all the y's have to be together. They cannot be both x's and y's together. So when I look at this expression, 14, the quantity of 14y plus x plus 22y. So I write my expression, 14y plus x plus 22y. I took away the parentheses because we're adding two numbers. So when I go through, I'm going to underline and box all the ones that are the same. So all of my y's are in boxes. All of my x's are in underlines. See, they're two totally different things. So I combine my two y values. So I have 14y's plus 22y's is going to equal 36y. Then I have what's left is my plus x. It's different. So whatever x is, I have to add that to it. So 14y plus x plus 22y in simplest form is 36y plus x. Here's another one. 4 times the quantity of 2x plus y. So again, 4 times 2x plus y. Distributive property, which means I want to distribute the 4 to both of the numbers inside. So I multiply 4 times 2x and 4 times y. 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times y is 4y. Addition sign in between. Addition sign in between. Can I add x's and y's together? No. This is my expression in simplest form. But what if we have to factor? Well, factoring is the same thing. I'm going to use my pineapple upside down cake method to find my number that goes outside my parentheses. So 27x and 18y. I need a number that goes into both 27 and 18. Well, it's not 2. 3 is a factor. 5 is not. 7 is not. And 11 is not. So let's try 3. 3 times 9 is 27. So 3 times 9x would be 27. 3 times 6 is 18. So 3 times 6y would be 18. But I also know that 3 goes into both 9 and 6. 3 times 3 is 9, so I have 3x. And 3 times 2 is 6, so 2y. So to find and put this into simplest form, I need to find my greatest common factor. So my greatest common factor is 3 times 3, which is 9. So 9 goes on the outside of my parentheses. We're going to multiply that by these two numbers down here. 3x, 2y, an addition sign in between, and addition sign in between here.